I'm back. So let's talk about stepchildren calling you mom. Let's get into that subject. It's a hot one. So calling me mom. I did go through this when the kids were younger, but personally, from my experience, I thought it was best if they just call me my name, which is Raimi. I I feel like I um, did enough for them. I proved them proved to them my love with action and always and being there for them that a name or a title didn't really mean much to me because I knew that I was dropping seeds in their life that would be with them for a while. So, for their lifetime. So I didn't feel like there was a it wasn't a pressed issue for them to call me mom. The communication in the relationship needs to be like A1. It has to be on point. Yeah, everyone has to be in one accord, and you guys have to have like a certain flow. I think things like that come natural. Um, I just personally, as a mother and having my own child, if I was a mom and I was away from my kid, and then like my significant other or whatever it was, my child's father was letting, my child call someone else mom, I think I would have a problem with that because I feel like, no, I'm doing my job. You don't need to have any. I'm your only mom. And so I respect that on a different level because I understand. I can take myself out of the equation and put myself in another mother's shoes and understand how that feels. Now, from a man's perspective, I would not know, but from a mother's perspective, I definitely know. Just remember, it's not about you. It's really about the child, to be honest with you. Because we as adults are putting the children in a situation where they never asked for it. They didn't ask to be born. They didn't ask to be in a situation where their, original family was broken up. So you want to make the transition smooth. And also, you want to keep in mind that you don't want to make them go through another transition. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, so say you guys don't work out, then they go on to another person and they're calling another person mom. It's gonna be a circus. So let's just be mindful of that. The key thing is to keep the families together and communicative. So if you're in a blended family, you want to make sure that you're staying in that blended family. You're focused on that family and that child. You don't need to have all these extra titles until you really show the part. You understand? Another thing that I will point out and say is that a lot of times, us women, when we get into situations, we're very nurturing, we're caring, we're that mother figure and everything. But my advice to situations like this, when it comes to the mom and dad situation, I would establish at least a level of a relationship with the mother. That's me personally. As a woman, I would definitely have a woman to woman conversation with the other person, with the other mother, and I would tell her, what I'm saying, how you felt, or ask her how she feels about the situation, and reassure her, even if it's a situation where um you feel like she's not doing anything or she's not worth anything. I don't care what it is. You always need to step outside of the situation and know that this is her child. She birthed this child. And at any time, she can take her child. What are you going to do then? Are you going to like be mad? No. You have to be an adult about the situation. If you're a woman and you know how that feels, because we're nurturing, we know how that feels. You need to, you owe her that respect to have a conversation with her. Her child is has attached to you. Her child is connected to you. Her child is really feeling you and giving you a title. And you better make sure that you're on your game to take that title. You know what I mean? You better make sure that you're on your game to take that title. You need to have a conversation with her because personally, I would not want to hurt another woman's feelings. I don't care what the situation is because I'm a mother too as well. So I want the same respect bestowed upon me as I would give her. I would not want it to be a situation where we're doing little young girl things and we're going back and forth. We're being petty because I'm not for that because it doesn't help anybody out, especially not the child. We want to make sure that we're going about it in the right way. We really do, because it's the child is going to hurt in the end. and we need to make sure that they're in a stable, loving environment and that they're getting everything that they need. So if that is the case, the whole mom and the father's thing should not be an issue. It should definitely not be an issue. No one should feel slighted. No one should feel like they're unworthy or they're not worth anything or they're a bad parent, especially if the adults communicated with the other parent. Never let a situation get out of hand to where you're just letting stuff slide, because then that creates the turmoil, that creates the confusion, and then everyone's feeling some type of way and they're in their feelings, and that's when the miscommunication happens, and then you start going back and forth and flipping flopping, and it's just dysfunction all around. So to close it out, I would just say have that conversation. Have that conversation with the other parent. Have that conversation with the father, and maybe include the child. And I'm sure everything will work itself out. Everyone will feel, confident. Everyone will understand that no one is stepping on anyone's toes and they're not trying to be petty. Because, people can be, especially women, we can be kind of petty. Anyways, but yeah, no one's being petty. No one's being spiteful or anything like that. So just have that conversation. All right. And I'm sure you guys will do fine. All right. You all, if you're a step parent, you are definitely a parent and you don't need a title just for that. Okay. So if you have any questions, leave some comments for me. All right. If I left out any topic, I don't know everything. So maybe you might have something else to say. Bye.